friends, Roxanne. Happy people. How's everyone doing today? Happy Wednesday, January 7th. We're on day 7, lesson 7 of our book, The Daily Stoic. I am so excited to share today's message with you. I've been looking forward to it. What else did I have going on? It's a wonderful day. It turned out it was like really, really foggy this morning. Like it was going to be overcast for the rest of the day. The sun is kind of playing peekaboo with this, but we're looking forward to a pretty day. I added some more things to my wall. I don't think I should have. I think I should have just left well enough alone. But no, not me. I can't do that. I got to be, that English part of me has to come out, and I have to crowd myself with pretty things. That's what I'm gonna put it to anyway. I'm Italian, mostly English, mostly European, that kind of thing. So that's where the hair comes from, the Italian part. That's what my Bible study teacher was like. Oh, that's where the hair comes from. You're Italian, and I'm like, yeah. I have Italian background. Anyway, I did pull this one out. The 48 Laws of Power. Is that what it is? Yeah, the 48 Laws of Power. We referenced this book the other day in our Stoic, Daily Stoic reference, and there it is. There's the title, Plan All the Way to the End. So that's there. Who is calling? Is it me or is it you? It's me. It is not important. So that's by Robert Greene. And then right here it says the author of The Power of Seduction. Robert Greene's really good. I love his books. And then we have the laws of 48, the laws of human nature. And this is the author of the Laws of Power, the 48 Laws of Power. So Robert Greene is the guy you're looking for, and these are the books that I told you I had. I told you I had a lot of self-help books that I had been reading just to get my mind clear, just to get my mind on the right track. It was what I did. It helped. So I'm not knocking it. If that's the choice you want to make, you do that. Otherwise, I can read. I mean, they seem kind of lengthy, and I'm kind of weird at reading. I read well, trust me. I mean, because I was a teacher once, and I read to children, and I did really well with that. But for some reason, lately, my mind is not doing well with reading. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I have a little like couch kind of behind me, not a couch but a bench, and that's where I'm putting all my books that I'm not really dealing with at the time. It's just easier to get to. Okay, so on today's lesson, January 7th, I have in the Daily Stoic, the proper work of the mind is the exercise of choice, refusal, yearning, repulsion, preparation, purpose, and assent. What then can pollute and clog the mind's proper functioning? Nothing but its own corrupt decision, and that is Epictetus. I learned how to say his name, Epictetus. Let's break down each of those tasks, and this is the let me pick it up so you'll see. It gives us what each warrior says. Up here, you see where it says Epictetus, right there, and then it has a little description down at the bottom. So I want you to know when I say the description or the other part of the story, we read that part. So this is very interesting. I like this part. And we're still in clarity because we're still in July. I'm not trying to confuse anybody. I'm not. I'm just not having. I'm having a good day. I really am. It's been a crazy day. Okay, by choice. It did say choice, refusal, yearning, repulsion, preparation, purpose, and assent. What then can pollute and clog the mind's proper functioning? Nothing but its own corrupt decisions. And again, I will reference and say that the brain is a powerful, powerful thing. It's not always a good thing, but it is powerful. Whatever you think you are, you are. Plain and simple. So choice. Let's break down each one of these tasks. Choice is to do and think right. That's different comparatively speaking, like to each person. What do you mean by do and think right? Do what you in your heart is the right thing to do. Refusal of temptation. We can refuse temptation all day long. We know what's right and wrong. Yearning to do better, to be better, but it says to do better, to be better. Repulsion of negativity, of bad influences, of what isn't true. Preparation for what lies ahead or whatever may happen. Purpose, our guiding principle and highest priority. Assent, to be free of deception about what's inside and outside our control, and be ready to accept the latter. This is what the mind is here to do. We must make sure that it does and see everything else as pollution or corruption. I think that is very, very powerful. Let me repeat those. Choice, refusal, yearning, repulsion, preparation, purpose, and assent. If you need me to repeat these at another time, I will do so. But I think that's very powerful to have those things in mind when you decide what you're doing, what you are up against, what you are battling in your brain, when you're dealing with the past even. Is it fair? Is it right for me to, is it my choice to think these things, or is it fair for me to think these things? Is it right for me to think these things? My refusal of temptation for thinking these things. My yearning to be better so these things don't even matter. Repulsion of negativity. I can't talk. What's up? Refusal, especially if these situations that we're clinging to, if it is if it's negative in our mind, why are we clinging to it? Bad influences of what isn't true. Okay, a lot of things, like when I remember certain things in my past, I can sit here and think, oh, I've been done wrong. And in part I have, but there are times where I can feel like I remember being done wrong by someone, but that's not necessarily true. You know, from their point of view, they probably had an excuse for what had happened. And I'm seeing things, again, we're choosing to see what we want to see. You know, maybe they were protecting themselves. Maybe they had a reason to behave the way that they, and I'm not talking about like somebody did something really bad to you. I'm talking about, you know, my brother's always talking about he's trying to make me a better person. And whereas I applaud his efforts and for caring so much, sometimes I don't want to be a better person. I like who I am. But I've heard him say it so many times, we're just trying to make you a better person. I am who I am. Stop it. You know, stop trying to make me a better person. There's nothing wrong with me as I am. So, again, look at it from his point of view. Look at it from, you know, they may not have hurt you as blatantly as you think they have. And then preparation for what lies ahead or whatever may happen. In order to prepare for what's ahead, prepare for the future, in order to think forward, we have to let some of that back stuff, that past stuff, that crazy stuff, we have to let that go, because we're never going to be prepared if we can't even move forward, if we can't stop looking backward. It's kind of like a car. If I'm going to put it in drive, I can't look backward and move forward. It's just not going to work that way. We really need to drop all that negative stuff. Even though it's like you're used to it and it's grinding you, and you really have to just move forward and keep going ahead, because you're not going to go forward if you're looking backward. Purpose, our guiding principle and highest priority. Our guiding principle and highest priority. Okay, what am I moving forward to? What are my guiding purposes? What are my children, my grandchildren at this point, my husband is nearing retirement. My anything could come up in the future. Anybody could, Lord forbid. I mean, I'm not wishing it on anybody, but anybody could end up sick. Anybody, anything could happen in the future, and I have to be aware and in the present moment for those things to even happen. So if I'm too busy in the past, I can't be mentally prepared to deal with whatever comes. Even I could get sick. Again, Lord forbid. I don't wish that on anyone, but it's there. We're human. That diseases do come and go. We have to be prepared for what's coming. Assent to be free of deception and what's inside and outside our control. Again, if you're thinking that someone wronged you out of spite and that is not exactly what happened and you're holding on to that, that's kind of a deception. And you thinking, you giving them the benefit of the doubt is probably the best thing you can do, because that deception and the way you're holding on to it cannot benefit you. And it's in your control to look at another side of the situation. It may not have, and I'm talking about maybe somebody had said something. I remember one time my mom told me she hated me. It was a long time ago. I was like 4 or 5. She told me she hated me. And that has resonated with me for a long, long time. But I always assumed she did. I knew that she resented me. And I didn't remember that until recently. But it was there. She said it. It came out. I was a child. I didn't need to hear that. But the thing of it is that my mom was like 18 when she had me. And she was pregnant with my sister, who was giving her a hard time. She was sick with my sister. And I was probably a handful because I had already been through some things, and I wanted to be pampered, and I wanted to be the attention person again. I wanted to be everybody's attention. I wanted you to keep thinking, okay, I've been through this, and she's worried about her health. So, I mean, there was no reason for her to say what she said, but she said it. And how would I feel if I was, of course, I'd never told my children I'd hate them. But she did. She absolutely did. She, I don't know if she ever apologized for it. I can't remember that much, but I do remember her saying that. We were in the middle of the street in Miami. We were walking, and she'd had an iron shot. And in the early 70s, iron shots were not what they are today. And she was suffering quite a bit. And I have to, and I did for the longest time. Like I said, I haven't remembered that for a long, long time. So I had to put it out of my mind, and I had to forgive her, I guess, and not live with that one sentence that she hated me. I had to forgive her. I had to let go of that, because in the end, she was suffering. She was in a bad way while pregnant with my sister. So that's that kind of thing. You really have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes for a few minutes and think about how they felt. Even though you were hurt, even though that is the worst thing you could probably do to a child, I still have to look at the things she was going through. I still have to look at how painful it was for her. I mean, she probably regretted it. She probably, I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember her apologizing. I just remember the sentence. And I remember where we were when it was said. Other than that, I don't remember much else after that. So, with that being said, it's in your control to think outside the box or outside the triangle, outside that circle. You have to not dwell on it from your point of view, dwell on it from another person's point of view. And I'm not talking about, I mean, because there are certain situations that there's no other possible way to think about it. But that, in that instance, I have to think differently. So that is today's message. And I hope it works. Again, clarity. We're clear in our minds. We're making clear views of certain situations so that we're not stuck on the negative of what has happened. And I can't keep thinking negative about everything. Everybody's not negative. Everything is not negative. I had some good time. I won't say I had a bad childhood. I cannot say that. I have not said that ever. There were some difficult times, but I do remember laughing. I do remember having good times. I remember laughing at my brother, laughing at my sister, laughing with my mom, laughing with my dad. I remember I was a kid and I was left to go outside and do what I needed to do all day long in 100-degree weather. You know, I remember the good times. I do remember some fun times. I remember listening to a lot of music. A lot of it 50s, 60s, all my childhood. You'd be like, okay, I hear the song, maybe it's Smokey Robinson, maybe it's the Temptations, maybe it's the Supremes or anything like this, and it'll come on the radio and I'll sing it, and you think, aren't you tired of that song because you've heard it all your life? But no. No, I love music. I don't like today's music. It doesn't make any kind of sense. It's nonsense, and I think we need more singers to come through, more songwriters to come through, and go back to the original songwriting, where things made sense, and you're not like yo 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 all the song long. That's kind of crazy. We don't have any real superstars in the way of music anymore. And I'm not talking about how they behave. I think we have, as people, and I know that when we were youngsters, we had like magazines that would tell us about stars or give us a brief inlet of their life, you know, their birthday, their favorite color, that kind of thing. But now with social media, we delve way too much into the life of a person. There is so much out there. The Kardashians, I could care less about those people. I understand they're rich. I understand that they are working to keep themselves rich. They keep doing things to make money. I understand, but they're not important to me. Their life is not important. I don't want to know about their house. I can't have a house like that. Why do I want to know about their house? Or how much money they have? Or how many cars? Just go away. You are not a Kardashian, no matter who they are. They are not contributing positively into this world. Think about their children. They have Northwest. Northwest is just way out of line. That's my thought. That is how I feel. Stop putting this little 12-year-old girl in my face with her blue hair, her black teeth. I don't care. She is not a positive force in the world. She's not doing anything to contribute so positively to the world. Quit putting her on social media. Quit putting Kim on social media. Stop it. You're not contributing positively to the world. So there's my thought there. Taylor Swift, everybody's all, yes, Taylor Swift is very positive, and she has turned her life into a major money-making machine. And that is lovely for her. I'm so happy for her. I really am. But when you delve into how she looks, the way she acts, what her relationship status is, I think we're just delving way too much via social media into these people. And it really drives me nuts. We know everything that Meghan Markle and Harry do. We know every little word they talk about. And it's just like, please go away. Just go away. I don't like you. Um, there's no positive influence out there anymore, and it's really starting to make me mad. It's really starting to hurt. It's hurting us as a society. As a society, I've never known so much about a president in my life as I have for the last 4 or 5 years. There's too many things about the president of the United States that we're overstepping our bounds. Of course, I'm not saying anything negative about anybody at all whatsoever, but that we delve too much into their lives. We can't do that. It's just not fair. It's not fair. I don't want anybody at my front door picking apart what I wear. So why are we doing that to other people? That's not fair. And I realize it makes people money, but that's the sad part. It's making people money. You're talking about what Millie Bobby Brown wears and how she looks at a 21-year-old married mother of a child, an adopted child. You're talking about the way she looks and the reason she doesn't look the way she used to look when she was 10 years old. Get a grip. But that's how I think. That's how I feel lately. We have no real positive influences anymore. We have to be each other's positive influence. And again, I will say it again until it comes to fruition. I do feel like anybody who is on the big S, like they think that they may commit a big S situation, or even depressive people. Depressive people should be like Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. You should have a sponsor. You should have somebody stand beside you at all times, and that is there to talk to and there to be with you. Somebody positive and uplifting that can help you through these situations. We are losing way too many people in that way. We need to be a positive influence for other people, because if we're not, I mean, I feel responsible for these people that are not here in the world because they feel like that they're cutting their life too short. They're doing me a favor by not being here, and they're really not. We need these people. We need to be positive about it. We're not doing enough for each other to keep each other here. That's just how I feel. We're too worried about ourselves to think about somebody else, somebody else's illness, somebody else's depression. Depression is like all too common anymore. Used to, like Vivian Lee. She was bipolar. Nobody knew that. Even in her acting career, nobody knew she was a bipolar person, so they labeled her difficult. Nobody was there for her because they didn't want to talk about that kind of thing. Just one person, just one incident. But now it's like 1 in 5 people are depressed. 1 in 3 people, however, whatever statistic you want to see. We're not here for each other like we should be anymore. We're not here. We're not being as supportive as we can. I feel like we need to be a little bit more supportive for everybody. And I feel like that's kind of why I built this channel. It's kind of why I teetered from doing the daily birthdays and what happened on this day back to a support channel, because I feel like I can do more to keep people here, or to keep them thinking positive and being brighter in their lives. So there's that. If you would, and you like my channel, and you haven't done it yet, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I like the comments for me, only to judge what content I need to bring, only to judge how I must behave in order to keep you on the right path. I like the comments for me, but unfortunately that is not how YouTube works. And the comments do count for interactions, and it does hit the algorithm. So they recommend my videos more, or the likes and subscriptions recommend my videos more, and I get more viewers that way. That's all great and good. I'm not looking to get paid to do what I do. Again, I'm only giving advice. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not any kind of profession, and I can only give you advice through this book or through another book or however, and talk about how I dealt with depression and see if that can help you. Again, I do hope you have find that great big belly laugh. Find someone in your life that you appreciate, and make sure you tell them. Once you tell them, you're going to tell another person you appreciate. You're going to feel how good it feels to be able to say, hey, I appreciate you. And it'll become a habit for you to daily step out and say, hey, I love that shirt you're wearing. That appeals to me. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you to this custodian for keeping his head down and tending to his job the way that he should. And there are a lot of people that have jobs that are like, whatever. They're not behaving right, but you have to appreciate the people that do behave right, because it makes you feel so much better. It makes you feel powerful to know that you can contribute good to people. Trust me. Y'all are beautiful people. You are worthy of everything you desire. Find that great big belly laugh. Find somebody that you can appreciate. Tell them. Give somebody a compliment a day. Just be that great big positive force and support everybody, somebody else, anybody. Especially if you think that they have a low face. We had to go rent a car because my car's out of service right now. So I had to go rent a car, and she was telling me and my spouse that, we made her day, that we were the biggest part of her day because we couldn't help but make her laugh. But that's who we are. We love to make people laugh. So you're seeing and I would tell her, you're seeing weirdness at the finest point. But I like it. I like it that people remember who we are. So that's how we deal with people. We like to make them laugh. So with that being said, I've been on here long enough. Oops. And I'm going to close this out. And I'm going to try to go do some housewife stuff. We'll see. And I will see y'all tomorrow. We have another lesson tomorrow. I'm excited to share that with you. Yes, I am. I'm excited to get through this book. I can't wait till we're on day 200, day 150 day. I'm so excited. This book is just everything to me. All right. And again, please like, subscribe, hit the like button. I'm Cassie. This is Cassie's Corner, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much, and y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.